Hey, what's up, guys? Little Legends recap last night. So this is the first session in my 5 year shift that's going on with my character. I think it's going on with everybody as far as like catching stories up to be like the singular storyline. But yeah, I got like I won't go into all this information, but I got a bunch of information about my ship, which is the Nebulous Hammer, and then I got a bunch of information about just like NPCs around me in the first 6 months since my last special session. So like this is kind of like the first little time skip, and Emrys finds himself on Rand, I think, which is the capital homeworld for Makoto Systems. And I'm there with my folks actually. I'm there with my mom to meet this dragon, this silver dragon that was like part of my, it's like my family's protector in a way, or like not, guardian, I guess is a good way to put it, because like them and my grandfather worked together in their conquests and stuff like that. But so we found ourselves in one of like Makoto's temples, waiting around, and Rohan was there with me. He's still like freaking huge compared to what he used to be. Like he's like 6'10". I think like my character's like 6'5". So like I'm like pretty tall, but he like dwarfs me now. But he's not like the full like crazy looking like Hulk thing he was before. I think before he was like 8, 9 feet, maybe 10 feet tall when he's like in that full form. But he's still like a base two, but he hits and takes hits like a three, but has zero energy projection, which is still like such a crazy blow up. He's 100% stronger than me. Like at this point, like I certainly do not hit like a three. I'm like I think I'm like a mid to high two at this point, based on like adventures and fights and stuff like that. I'm not long form for sure. That's the next big step. But yeah, so we're in this temple. We're hanging out. We're kind of like seeing the different things. Like my mom and I are walking around. We're waiting for this dude named Wing to come. He's like our envoy for this, because like we're like part of like that royal family kind of thing. So it's like we have people like that. But he's like trying to set up the meeting with Silver. We go to like a couple different things. Like we see some crystals from the Swarm Wars. They're like relics that were brought back, and like learn a little bit about those. And then Uncle Tosh, Lord Toshiro, shows up, and he's a nut. But we talk and we hang out a little bit, and then we start heading back to. We have like a beach house on this planet for like our family. Like it's like a beach mansion kind of thing. Which, like I said, it's the capital world for Makoto, so like that kind of thing makes sense. Uh, we get back there and Saya shows up and Uncle Tosh tells her to form up, head boxes her a little bit. And he's like second to Zuru, and I think she's like she came up to rank C now. I have to like double check the notes. See, yeah, it's either rank C or rank D as far as like uninitiated Saiyans go, or not uninitiated Saiyans who hasn't ascended yet. Which like there's a rank like I think it's like F through A and maybe S. I don't know. I can't remember if it's S rank. I'd have to double check, but I don't have those notes open right now. But it's interesting, like the feats that they can pull, like Saya, like being such a nut of a character, to where she's gotten now. Like she she's like in the thousands of tons range where she can lift. She's fast. She's like multiple times faster than the speed of sound, and or she's definitely faster than the speed of sound for sure. And then she can like withstand a blast with her aura out that would like destroy a mountain, like for durability. So like it's one of those ones, like it's crazy just the level that Saiyans exist at in Legends. Like they're scary. Expect like I guess it's one of those ones where like we always say that the upper level stuff where you get like to those crazy insane people, like when it comes to power levels go, that like yeah maybe like that kind of thing falls off a little bit, like when you're fighting your elders banes and stuff like that, like your crazy cosmic beings who are doing like system wide energy blasts and stuff. But like at those base levels and everything like that, like Saiyans are freaking scary. Like you think of like your other races out there and everything like that, and it's like not even being like first form and still like putting up those numbers is insane. I learned a bit about my ship and everything like that. I think I said that, but I'm not going to go into those details. But like ships are kind of scary too. Like I think my ship could like fight a 4. I don't know that I would win, but like it was like one of those ones like I mean Emrys would never win versus a 4 like straight up, but like I feel like my ship might be able to mess up a 4, or a second Azuri like that. So yeah, Saya boxes with Uncle Tosh a little bit, and he just kind of checks her form and sees her progress, and hey, he's like pleasantly surprised, like from what he's heard about her and everything. Excuse me. We talk a little bit like that. Saya and Rohan go off do their thing. Uncle Tosh goes to meet up with my mom and my dad, and then I see Dakawan's there, my eldest brother. So I go talk to him a little bit, catch up with him, kind of like smooth things over a little bit, which it seems like it's Emrys's job recently, because like there's some tension in the family with some of the recent stuff that's going on. Like he feels like usually like Dakawan was like my dad's go-to, like the first son and all that kind of stuff, but like some stuff has kind of come out that like he's getting a little bit of the cold shoulder. But I was just kind of smooth that over a little bit, like don't worry about it, it'll pass. So I was like, it better pass for my sake, because if it doesn't, then dad's gonna be going looking to me for all these responsibilities that I don't need to be a part of. And he kind of laughed it off a little bit, and we had a good little catch up there. My dad came over. He wanted to talk to me and like gave Doc on the cold shoulder. And I'm just like, yeah, I kind of give him a shrug. Like, he is the way he is. That is the way the Hashin is, who is my dad. So we go talk, and he asked me about my wards, and I was like, oh, like, yeah. He's like, I did some vetting on them, and I was like, okay, right on. I was like, I guess my thought was, like, given the security concerns around the Republic and even our systems with the latest thing that had gone on, yeah, like, yeah, that makes sense. Like Saya and Pan, someone like I think the DM had comments stuff like this, but I kind of thought the same thing. Would have to be like someone would have to be like a true genius to like insert them into my lives, because like there's such random NPCs that Everett just kind of took a liking to, and Rohan was the only one who could like possibly like just thinking you back about the way the two of them met, that like someone could have maybe planted him, but my dad did some background checks on him for me, which I didn't ask for. And I was like, oh, like, thank you. It's like a good idea, just given like the way it is and who I am. Like, I was like, even though I'm a little more on the outside of like Makoto's empire, still like I could be like something that someone might want to exploit, especially given like my recent exploits. But he said the actual reason is he was going to make them Spirit of Makoto, which I asked the DM about as like far as like honors go, because I know Kato got made that for helping Makoto out there in the outer that one mission we did with Elder's Babe. It's apparently akin to being knighted. So for Saya's like an absolute nobody, like as far as things go. Rohan is also like pretty much absolute nobody. So it's like a pretty big honor. And I, Emrys was kind of like trying to wrap his head around it. Like, is it something like, what? And Hashin kind of pointed out, it's like, listen, like from what you said in your retelling is like they basically saved your life, and like they were instrumental, which like I said, they were like from a piloting perspective as far as manning the ship, like yeah, they back then, like they aren't out there like to like throw punches or anything like that, but like if you're in control of that ship, you can be pretty vicious. So like yeah, like they kind of saved my life. They were there through like the thick and thin of it, and kind of led me through that. Not led, they accompanied me through that campaign that we went on. So I was like, yeah, that'd be great. Kind of a great honor. Thanked him for it and everything like that. And he's like, all right, and he kind of headed off, that's like, yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing, like to see the two of them kind of being brought up. I always think of that Generations achievement about like raise two people up with you as you like gain your status kind of thing. And I was like, oh man, like I'm doing this in the wrong game. I need to actually get some powerful allies and legends and like bring these people in Generations. But yeah, so there was that. I had some drink with me, and I was like, to joke with like the DM. I was like, some Saiyan drink. So I came up with the golden ape. The little the servant, the staff was like 1 tails or 2. I was like, I'll make it a 2 double. And so I'm out there enjoying a drink on the beach, and there's like some people, like some Saiyans. I think they're like first level, and they're sparring and everything like that, and they're doing some like interesting drills, and like some of the drills I'm actually thinking I'm like taking back to like my students. I'm like, okay, so I'm watching them, and they're going back and forth. Like I'm just not trying to interrupt, but I think like the one recognized me a little bit, and then one of the drills, like the one dude got injured, so like I tried to I was like offered him some of those the healing things I do because I got a little bit of that kind of stuff, and they were like a little weirded out by it, and I was like, right on. I was being a little Joe with it with how I was presenting it. I was like, oh no, it'll be fine. Like, good, like just give a thumbs up and not tell him anything because I'm sitting there enjoying my drink. Like, Everest is on vacation right now. He's not out there to get into anything. They go back and forth. They're doing like some training stuff, and Saya shows up. I talk to her a little bit. I slowly or like kind of in a goofy way reveal to her the whole spirit thing, like the what's akin to basically a knighting, and she's like completely blown away by it because like Saya's basically some like nobody kid who her parents have a restaurant and she always kind of wanted to be the warrior, which like I said I maintain like Saya's the main character of the legend storyline. Like this is just all her prologue for when Emrys tragically dies and then like Saya takes over. Saya is like a sensory type. She got her senses awakened by a cosmic being, and like it's just like kind of, it's like she's like the actual Dragon Ball tale kind of thing, where it's like we're following her journey. uh, but yeah, so I kind of talked to her about that. She's very honored and also like just kind of taken back because it's such a crazy, I guess a crazy thing for someone like her. Like it doesn't, this kind of thing doesn't happen to people like her, which everything Emrys can do to make it her story. Unfortunately we learned earlier that like the meeting with Silver wasn't going to happen. The dragon can like go through these like periods of like rest or like hibernation and stuff like that, and it might be in one now, but whatever it is, I didn't catch any details, but my mom did say like that it's off for now. So I was like, okay, we're out here, we got the family together. I mean, it's Makoto isn't there, at least not yet, but like Tosh, Hashin are there, my mom, my brother and I. Mira's on the outs with the family right now. Like she's on the shit list. And I ended up they were doing like the kata, but they can't. The Saya can't follow it. The guy's form is actually really good, like maybe a little bit better than mine. But like I said, I'm still a better blaster than I am a boxer. But like I said, you can be sharp like that. Obviously, like I would like handle the guy just because of the power difference between us. But like he's got a sharp form, so Saya was trying to follow it, but they're too fast for her, even with her like better senses. But like I think they were like high ones, and she's like she's not even like ascended. So I was like, oh, I can show you what they're doing, and so we started to do that, and then that was pretty much where I got put on pause. So pretty short session, nothing like crazy as far as like comment. I joke with the DM like this is one of the beach episodes from an anime or something like that, where everyone gets together and has a good time or anything like that. It's nice. Like no one was trying to kill us or anything like that. Uncle Tosh showed up. He's always nice to see. All that good stuff. So short recap, hopefully. Looking forward to next time.